My name is Reece Parkinson and I love to travel, and working as a DJ gives me the opportunity to see the world. But 2 years ago I received a diagnosis, assigning me a potentially troublesome travel companion that I won't be able to shake for the rest of my life.
I just got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. It flipping sucks all round.
Type 1 diabetes is when you have a pancreas and you watching most likely have a healthy working pancreas which produces insulin, whereas mine, the beta cells got attacked and then stopped producing insulin. So when I eat any food, carbohydrates for example, the sugar in the carbs makes my blood very thick and full of glucose, which is not healthy. And I remember walking home from work one day and the vision in front of me was really blurry, and that's where I would start rubbing my eyes and try and clear the vision, but it wouldn't go. And that happened all in that week, and just kind of got worse and worse and worse. And that's when I went, okay, I need to go to the GP, and I handed in a urine sample, and I got a call the next morning saying go to A&E now. Swimming trunks, shorts, DJ equipment, of course. This is the hardest thing. Just imagine that the whole set relies on these two USBs. Like, if these get lost. If the condition isn't managed with insulin injections, then things can get serious, and I could run the risk of having a leg amputated or even going blind. Meaning, when I'm traveling, I have a lot more to remember to pack than just my socks and swim shorts. So the Sharps box for the injections, when I change them after every time using them now. The sensor as well, just in case the one on my arm gets damaged and I need a replacement. And then we're gonna take 90 needles as well. I'm a huge person when it comes to routine. Routine and diabetes, type 1 in my opinion, has to be sorted. You have to have a routine to give you the best levels, in my opinion. When you travel, you are completely at the mercy of everything else. You aren't in control. I'm making my way from London to Ibiza, where I've been booked to DJ at one of the last major parties of the summer season. There'll be plenty of late nights, alcohol and unhealthy food to contend with, and they can all have an impact on my blood glucose levels. So let's see how I get on. The first hurdle when traveling is airport security. Wherever I go, my insulin and needles need to come with me, even on planes. So whenever I'm flying, I have to make sure I have a letter from my doctor and any prescriptions to hand before boarding my flight. 2.5 hours in the sky and it's goodbye gloomy London and hello blue Spanish skies. The first thing I like to do when I go somewhere new is to have a look around, and I've found a way to do that whilst keeping my blood glucose levels in check at the same time, and that's by running. For me personally, the best way to see a new place is to run. I'm not going to get an Uber or a taxi through the city to somewhere new. I'd rather run to it. You see all the streets that, are not just the motorway to one place or not just the main road. And then in terms of my diagnosis, running just balances out my levels so well. It's the best thing for it. You wake up in the morning, the adrenaline from naturally waking up, your blood sugar levels just go up instantly. Then you're looking at what you're going to have for breakfast, whether it's fruit or oats or whatever. All that stuff contains a lot of carbs. I can have that, then go for a run, as long as it's like a 4 or 5 mile or longer, kind of consistent pace, longer run, and it just naturally takes it down to the right levels. It's like the perfect medication for me that doesn't involve needles. Today's run has taken me to Esvedra. Legend has it, this rocky outcrop is the gateway to the lost city of Atlantis. And like the best thing about this, which is different to all the other side, which has its moments, don't get me wrong, I'm a DJing here. I'm gonna be a part of that culture, but this, in my opinion, is like the truth of Ibiza. And the best thing is you can't get a cab up here, you can't get a taxi up here. Not everyone comes up here, you got to hike or run up here. You know, I ran and I've now earned this. I've earned this.
Later that night, my girlfriend and I are meeting up with some of my friends from the UK who are in Ibiza for my gig. We've got a lot of catching up to do.
Do you still like enjoy a night out as much as you did before you got diagnosed? Or is it different now?
Yeah, I think so. It's still like as fun, obviously.
So is there anything that you've cut out of like completely, or is it just like, I don't know, I'm just gonna have these in moderation instead of like how I used to eat?
Yeah, so it could be like say like a pasta or a pizza, or like even tonight, just had a sandwich, but like a few sandwiches just because the bread in it I knew would last longer throughout the night. Mm-hmm. So the alcohol might go and come back down, but knowing that I've had the bread, which is a longer lasting carb, should that will start rising when the alcohol's coming down. It'll like balance itself out. Mm-hmm. It's all a balancing game, pretty much. That's how I see it.
The next day, it's time to do some work. I'm heading to the location of my gig, the Ibiza Rocks Hotel. But after a good old catch up the night before and having more alcohol than normal, I'm feeling a little worse for wear. After the lack of sleep, I'm riding on adrenaline. This 45-minute DJ set sees me supporting some of the biggest names in the European dance music scene. So I have to be on top of my game.
So we're about to go out on stage. We literally got 5 minutes until the start of the set. Just check my levels, and 11.7, which is pretty high, but the risk is if you inject yourself now, there's a high chance it could go too low during the set, and then I'll have to down all of that juice. Isn't the end of the world, I'm not gonna die, but yeah, just from like a perspective of always being in control of it, this is one of those moments that it's kind of got control of me, you know.
My name is Reece Parkinson, BBC Radio 1 Extra.
The gig begins and I am loving it. But my levels are slowly beginning to climb.
Mate, done. 13.1, all right, it's climbing. I am gonna inject myself now. So let me give myself, let's say 3. 3 it, I give an extra 1 for luck.
Over 9 million people have type 1 diabetes globally. I'm still learning to live and travel with this condition. But what this trip has taught me is, wherever I go in the world, type 1 will always be there with me. It's a case of knowing not everything will be perfect all of the time. But if I treat myself with kindness, then there's nothing that will stop me seeing or doing anywhere I decide to visit.